Hey, good evening. Michelle Kuipers here. I wanted to let you know that this is day 14 of my 14-day challenge. So I'm really happy about that. I'm glad that I made it through the 14 days of Facebook Lives. And I have learned so much and gotten so much more confident. So I suggest that if anybody get the opportunity to do any type of Facebook challenge like this, go for it, because it does help. It makes you feel a little bit more comfortable, and it helps you on your words, which I'm still working on that one. Anyway, so what I wanted to talk to you about is, nowadays, I was talking to somebody about Zoom and so on, and there are so many, everything's online, and there's so many more ways that hackers can get to our machines because we're just on them so much more, I think, now than we were, and we've opened them up to, to Zoom and to the different, team, whatever that team viewer is, and so on. So it was real important for me to go and do kind of a review of my holes and my threats of where someone can access my computers, my phone, my iPad, all that. So I went and did a little research, and it's pretty enlightening, and I wanted to summarize some of that for you guys. And maybe you can share and tell me if you have any other ideas. That would be really helpful to all of us. So, secrets that hackers don't want you to know. Now, a lot of these are going to be, we already know, but let's just review them. Phishing emails. So one way to spot these is by looking for bad URLs, and you can hover over links and you can see the actual URL and know, is it really from Disney, or is it really from Amazon or UPS or wherever? There's so many of them. And then the other thing is, be careful, because you'll notice that a lot of the URLs, they're just slightly different than, let's say GoDaddy is GDaddy. Well, when you first look at that, it looks like, oh, that's GoDaddy, yeah, that's legit, but be really careful with that. The other thing is, don't open attachments or links unless you're 100% sure of who they're coming from. Password. So I'm really bad about this, but instead of a password, they're really pushing for a password phrase. So for example, something like Mary had a little lamb might be a capital M, a little H for had. Maybe the A would be the @ sign. Little might be a lowercase l, and then lamb would be an uppercase L. That's probably not a really complex password, but it's just an example. So they really recommend password phrases. And I've often thought about getting one of those password generators, but I don't know, I get really nervous at the thought of how do you access? I don't know. I'll have to think more about that. Bluetooth. This is a big one. Bluetooth can allow hackers into your phone and can steal your data. And always turn your Bluetooth off after you use it. I don't do this. Or you set the visibility to off and not discoverable. I just had my headset on and it was on all day long. Now it's on my ears usually, but even when I turn it off and set it here to recharge, I just tested it and it was still on. So be sure that any of that you turn it off. Anything connected to the internet can be hacked. Smart TVs, baby monitors, and I'm sure we've all heard about the baby monitors and seen the pictures of that weirdo that was spying in on that child. And I think of the smart TVs, and of course I don't really remember. I don't think about that, but they're hackable as well. And now one thing I do, which is probably really minor, on my camera on the computer, I have this little thing that clips on the top. See it? So it clips on the top, so it covers the camera. And I also have another one which I like even better, and it kind of slides across. the camera. So I am very careful that when I finish a Zoom call, I cover that up or slide that across because, yeah, I don't want anybody watching me. That's weird. Anyways, so yeah, just had a thought. So I'm not sure how you do that on a smart TV, but I have to look into that a little bit more. But I also have, at the end of this, if you're interested, I have something you can reach out to me for. It is 12 red flags that someone may be spying through your computer. So I'm going to definitely look into that some more. Let's see, anything connected. Okay, public Wi-Fi, of course, use your phone as a hotspot is much better, or use a VPN. I have both, one through one of my clients, and so I can go through their VPN. But if you do have to get on using a public Wi-Fi, don't do financial transactions. Like, I'll have a number of clients that will ask me, let's meet at Starbucks and let's do some accounting and bookkeeping. No way. No way. Bad. Unless we have a hotspot, and then I get really nervous because you just don't know how, you just don't do it. Okay, and then the other thing is, for the being connected to the internet, is be sure and use really strong passwords, and complex. Your router should have its really complex password as well. So when you're at home, and that helps with the baby monitors, the cameras, the smart TVs, is to have those really complex passwords so that they can't get through there. In addition, a lot of websites, I'm sure you've all noticed, banks, they're using that two-factor authentication. So use that whenever possible. I know it's a pain, but that's where they'll send you a text message with a code, and you have to put that code in before you can go further, reset the password, anything. So that's an important one. And then also your router should use, get this right, WPA2 encryption as opposed to WEP encryption, which WEP apparently you can just get a program online and crack different passwords with that, but WPA2 is much better. At the very least, use WPA1 or just WPA. Okay, the other thing is, when these hackers go through your bank and so on, they will, if they get a hold of your account numbers, they're going to try first smaller amounts, usually under $10, to see if it goes through and it's not discovered and nobody catches it. So be sure and check online every day. That also seems like a lot, but yeah, I just talked to a banker last week who said that while banks, I think, give you 30 to 60 days. I'm not sure, so don't quote me on that, but I think it's 30 days if you see unrecognizable charges. However, on a commercial account, 0 days. So a lot of the banks will still work with you on that because they know you're probably going to go elsewhere, but they don't have to. So 0 days, that's like, wow, you've got to do everything in your power to. I found a charge just the other day. I was late in going through my books, and it was a lot of money. And I'm like, what is that all about? Where did I spend that? So I have to research that, because what's odd in that case is it was just one charge. So maybe I did make it, and I'm not even aware. But if I had checked regularly, real consistent, then I would know, and I wouldn't be trying to rack my brain later thinking about it. The other one are the ATM skimmers. Be sure and use, actually pull on that skimmer and see, or where you slide your card, and see if it is a skimmer. Does it come off easily? Is it jiggly? They say to use ATMs that are inside the bank, which kind of defeats the purpose of quick and easy, but that's what we've gotten to. Let's see, be careful with apps. I didn't know about this. A lot of free versions where you say yes to all these different things. I guess games, that kind of thing. Yeah, sure, put me on that list, or I don't care. It's just they're just ways to get in to your phone. So be careful with apps and free versions, and then also avoid debit cards because they're just one step away from your bank account. Use a credit card when possible. I think that's it, but it's sad that we have come to this. I've become much more aware of this with my parents and how many scams are played on older adults. Yeah, that's really sad, the phone scams and so on. They just, bless their hearts, they just don't know that people are just trying to take advantage of them at every corner. But it's so important. It's so important. And it is sad that we've gotten to this, but you know, that's where we're at. So I hope this was helpful for someone. I have a list because I'm telling you, this was so important to me when I started looking into it. But I have 12 red flags that someone may be spying through your computer. That to me is just like, whoa, I need to read that one. So if anybody is interested in that, please send me an instant message and I'm happy to send that over to you. And then the other thing is 10 things or times you should never pay using a credit card. So if you want either one of those or both, just let me know and I'm happy to send it over. So thank you for being with me the last 14 days, and I will continue to come on periodically when I have something that I feel needs to be said. And thanks again for watching, for your support, and I'll talk to you again. Bye.